How would you like to see a secret business loan application up to $2 million and above, even through business credit card applications and more? Hi, welcome in. This is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business funding expert, a business loan broker expert, as well as a pre-underwriter slash underwriter who's been able to help a lot of people acquire the right type of funding strategically with the right partnership and roadmap for longer term without over promising, under delivering, overwhelming you, bombarding you, pressuring you. I don't do any of that. In fact, I'm not a sales person. I come from an academic background. I studied my butt off. I did a bit of sociology, played a little bit of a Division One soccer, and then I got into chemical engineering as that's what I found out I wanted to do. I have a very math and system brain. I'm very introverted, analytical, the cerebral type. And I just want you to know that then after the chemical engineering part, I wanted to start a business. So I had to make a big decision and I got into the business side, got my degree through that. I've worked in warehousing, I was in construction, manufacturing, in different positions, financial logistics for a company that went down under. I had to go back on unemployment benefits and food stamp cards in my younger 20s. Not a very good feeling. And I just wanted you to know that so you know a little bit about who I am coming into this. And I've been able to help a lot of people do this correctly without stumbling over, without just sitting on their couch and wondering what if, because you have to be careful. When you go online and you look for funding, it's as simple as typing in business loan, no credit check. Or you go on YouTube, I might not be the only channel you are watching for this, but I know this. There are a lot of people out there that will cause hiccups that don't really know their stuff to the extent and are just pretending or just trying to get you into something that doesn't make most sense. So be careful and what you accept. Have higher standards. So what I want to get into here, is there really a secret business loan application up to $2 million? And if so, what is in it? What are the line items? And how much do I need to fill out of it? So then when I give it back, is it all complete? That'll go in here. You see on the share screen just a little bit, there's an application. I'll be shifting over here into my Adobe PDF screen. But before I do so, let me answer the question. No. And why I titled it or I put it in this format is because a lot of business owners are looking for something that doesn't exist. You are looking for a shortcut, perhaps, and you're looking for an application that you can just swindle your way through without filling a specific field, or just thinking that there's just 2 to 3 line items that once I submit this pre-qualification application or another form of the process, that you'll be able to get your funding offer immediately and without any kind of problem. That if you don't have to fill in one specific field, it'll get through. They'll accept my application. They'll look past my bank statements, just look at the application and accept me. So that's why I wanted to bring it up this way. And I'm going to reveal to you what are the line items you need to look out for, which ones to fill out. And then if you stick with me, I'll also share with you a few things that I uploaded on Instagram Reels and in other places about how to get up to 100,000 in multiple business credit cards, how to get 100K in one credit card, and those different positions or those different banks that you can get it from. So let's go into this share screen. I am in my Adobe PDF. And before we go into any of these fields, down below in the description, I'll leave more information for you to get started. There will be a questionnaire form. If you have not submitted that, please start there. You'll go through, it'll be one of the very first links you click on, select from one of the 2 buttons, and then fill out my form. I will then be able to pre-underwrite and look at that. I analyze and I evaluate, and I'll respond back via email with the very highly personalized and customized email response with the PDF attached on your best funding option and options, things that are not even publicly released. I will show you. You will also get a free 6-step pre-approved lending checklist with an enormous free grant exclusive documentation list. So over here, what you're looking at on the screen is one of the applications for working capital. Now, if you try to go somewhere else, you might get a different format, whether it's somebody that I paired you up in that lender is their application or that brokerage application, or it's my own. I'm just giving you an example of what something can look like, and I just customized this one very briefly to my own. And so what you would see here more or less from top to bottom. Business information, legal company name, all the way down to current MCA funding advance balance due. So this one is geared towards, it could have been put towards any kind of working capital application. And I could have asked, do you have an existing business loan? Do you have are you a guarantor? Are you a guarantor for other credit cards? Depends on the application, depends on the service. So here, again, legal company name, you will make sure you put that into this field. Business DBA name, if you have, please put that there. The federal tax ID, here, let me move this so I can show you the line items much easier, which I have my, oops, so I can't do it from there. So I'll have to exit out of that one. Okay, good. So I have this thing where I can show by editing from a Chrome extension that I have. So let me come back into here. All right, so right here, we're focused on the legal company name. I disregarded this over here. We'll leave it as is though. On this side here, you have the business DBA name. But let me move this spot over. Okay, so that's what I wanted to see. And let me come back up here. Over here, just give you a quick highlight right there. Business DBA name. On the right-hand side, you have federal tax ID. Over here, now you have business inception date. To the right of that, you want to list your business phone number. And I know this isn't the most attractive material that I've come out with, but bear with me, especially at the end, if I can share with you some of those tips on credit cards. But business email address, very self-explanatory. Make sure you have your phone number for business, whether that's your mobile and or your business number. It's important to separate your business from your personal matters, especially when you try to go and apply for funding, especially on a bank term loan level and an SBA loan level, equipment loans, credit cards, and more. Business address, you have over here on this side. Let me bold that really quickly. The city, and let me go back to this color. You see that there? And then you have the state on this side. It's not letting me, there we go. Now it goes back to the same. So I'll leave it as is. And then over here, you have the zip code, the legal entity, the industry type that you are in. Make sure you put that correctly. Approval amount you are requesting, and current MCA funding advance balance due. So if there is anything where you have an existing balance, please state that as asked for. And again, the application that you get could look different depending on the provider, depending on the type of funding, the type of loan, advance, if it's that, or it might just be one application for all. Sometimes it's a variant amount of them. Over here in part 2, we're on now, estimated cash flow. Let me see if I can move this over here, highlighted section. So estimated cash flow right here is what we're looking at. That's one part. And underneath it, it says average monthly revenue. So you want to put your average monthly revenue that you are generating, ideally for the last 3 months or 4 months if you're in California, Utah, and there's a few other states. But look at it as, what is it over the last 90 days? What's your average monthly revenue? Or the last 4 months? Sometimes 6 months you can add, but the last 3 to 4 months is really what we're looking for. The lowest monthly revenue in the last 90 days. So if you said here, let me go ahead and put this part with you. If I can go to or I'll probably just leave it as it is here, so I don't overcomplicate it. I could have done this in a different way. But here, let's say it's $50,000 a month. Now, in your lowest monthly revenue, you're probably doing $45,000 a month. And I know the lettering and the size is a little bit different, but we're going through this as quickly as possible. And one thing you should know is that all applications can be usually done digitally. So when you're asked for a PDF, you might be able to download it and then have the PDF attachment that you are doing like I am, or in a different format that you can fill in those fields. Or it'll already have it populated for you, excuse me. And right there, you can start adding the details or however it is asked for. And it's on one page. You can input that field and then go ahead and submit it. You'll be able to upload your documents, your driver's license, a voided check, and all that you need. And each service can be different. So what they'll ask for at what time varies. So in here, we put that in there. And then on part 3 that we're at over here, credit card processing overview. You see over here, I won't highlight it with the other one because we're using the text. So credit card processing overview. Do you currently accept credit cards? Yes or no? Make sure you put that. Your average monthly revenue or credit card processing volume. We can say if you do 50,000, how much of that is coming through credit card? Probably say 35,000. Just try to be as accurate as you can with this. Business owner information, as we see here, 1. And this is the part, that's why I wanted to show this to you guys, because not one, but many people trip up when it comes to filling out the most obvious parts, but even at times that can be messed up. And so here we want to make sure we put in both fields if you have multiple owners. That is self-explanatory. So business owner information 1, business owner information 2. Sometimes you might see more fields to put more than 2 if you have multiple, but majority owners over 25%, over 20%, over 50%, a lot of the times you'll want to state that. And so let me quickly make sure that you understand this. For any reason that you feel you don't have to put another business owner information that has a percentage in your business, there are many reasons. You might not want your credit to be pulled. You don't want your information to show. It is not reporting accurately. Probably there is some fraud. There's an issue where that's not being reported accurately. I've seen it so many times on credit card applications more than anything, where the home and the business address, like things aren't aligning correctly on what everything is stated. And the other parts of it, projected revenue is not really the big part of it. But when you account for these other factors in the credit applications more than anything, usually it's because of the business information is not done correctly. And if there has to be an articles of incorporation and a certification of state to show proof that you are in good standing and this is your business, here is when it was formed, here is the business address, or here's the address that you are using for the business. And if that's not aligning with your credit application, or you're within a different state, you have different states where you have different places, and it's like, where was it originally incorporated, or where was it originally started? That's what we want to look back at, and then we can look at everything else. So back into this. So business owner information 1, first name, put all of that. I'm not going to put this because of sensitive information and home address. Obviously, I don't want to have to put all that, even if I put my business email address and all that. But here you see business for first name. Over here, put your last name. Or if it's your other business owner, then make sure they put that. Have them go through it. Can you fill it out for them? Sure. Is it ideal? No. It's best for them at least to tell you what to input, but have them fill out that part of the form. And then go over here. You see date of birth, social security number. Why is that asked for? And this is a very common reason people don't complete their application. Well, we have to verify proof of eligibility, and this is who you are. This is how you are being shown as a person. And then for pulling credit later on and making sure that is done correctly and within good standing, taxes, things like that have to make sense. And here, phone number, email address, the home address, city, state, zip code, business ownership, and then FICO score. Notice how it says underneath business owner information 1, home address. So make sure you account for that and read very carefully, please. I have so many people who blast through an application, and right now I'm waiting for quite a bit of people to send me their applications for different funding services too. And you wouldn't be able to imagine how many times they miss out on a field. They could have done it very slowly, but they probably took their eyes off of it. They thought they were done. They downloaded it, sent it over to me. I looked it over. This is not presentable to my lender, and I'm putting my reputation. But if you miss something, I won't be angry or I won't be upset. It's when you do it repetitively. And the other part of it is when you wanted to move on something, but it took you forever to do the revision and send it back, or even just the first time around. See, your actions have to match your words. If you're saying something, don't say it to me. Just take the action. I won't tell you, hey, I'll get this done. I would have already put it in your email before you would have thought that. That's the kind of person that I am. I have a high standard. My core vision, values, and mission in life are aligned as a digital entrepreneur, as a business funding expert, and somebody who runs multiple businesses and keeps track of his numbers. It's important to have the characteristic part and not letting that go aside. A lot of business owners work their business, their baby or babies, but they completely forget about themselves in the process of changing themselves to become better as a person, to become better and have a higher standard, core value, become more loyal. See, a lot of people, I'm not, and I'm an observer. So I talk less and I do more. And so I can see right through people before even a word, even a gasp for air. I could tell where they're coming from if I've learned a bit about them before email communication. Sometimes it's not always needed. When you come into this ecosystem and this culture, you'll understand why and how it works and how efficient that really is. And I'm not traditional. And I think that's what you would want to see from somebody, especially being introverted. Like, I take care of you like you're my family, not an extended, but an internal part of my family. Literally is what it is. And I see this in a lot of people. And a lot of people would need me when it's convenient, which makes sense that they need funding, but the need of me is irrelevant. They need the concept of me and what I can do to help them in their business. You have to look at it much deeper and say, I really need that other person in more ways than just funding. I care about them as a person. I know who they are now. And so a lot of business owners need that concept of how can you just help me with funding and, excuse me, completely go away from needing that person, needing Gerald, needing Sally. See, when I go and help somebody, I'm looking at it as in who are they, their health and their relationships. How can I better them as people? Because I've been there before. I want to help people. I'm not a guru, but I want to make sure that you have the best chance at improving as a person. That's what matters to me. So back to here, and we'll close up here soon. I'll go into another application for like a bank loan one, and I'll show you how that one looks like. And so you'll want to fill out those fields: city, state. We already went through these. So all the way down to your FICO score. FICO Experian is okay. If you were to label all three or an average, put your FICO Experian credit score. That's normally where it will be pulled from. Here, business owner information number 2. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed. The only difference that I see with people is that they don't fill out the whole thing. You have somebody who owns 10, 25% of the business. You're 75%. You're 51%. Well, you have one more owner. Do the math. What would that make? Well, add them into this business owner information too. Even if they're less than 15%, even less than 10%, they have a percentage of the business. Add them as the business owner information. The one that'll weigh most is the majority. We're going to look at the lowest credit score out of all business owners and better determine on what can we do with that. There's enough of a reason, especially with banks, then we can try to justify things. If somebody's credit is less and it's not acceptable to have less, it has to make sense for the situation. And I can better describe that to my lender and lender team and those that I have a great personal and business relationship with. So everything there, just read down here by signing below, and then business owner signature 1, agent name. I have that information there. There might be a master agent name or something different in the field that might be there, that might not be there. There's a lot of differences within different applications. So this is one. I'm going to now show you another one, and I have it opened on my tab here. So let me go ahead and stop the share from this one. Give me 1 second. Okay. So now let me go ahead and show you. Okay, this is not the one that I wanted to. Oh, okay. This is one. 1 second. There it is. So this is another application from a specific bank where it's a 100% online pre-qualification application like most that you see out there. And in here, it'll have some information from tell us about your business, the legal business name, same thing that we saw earlier, the DBA name, if applicable. And so before I go any further, the one I showed you can be relevant in all-in-one for multiple products, like a line of credit, a advance, a bank term loan. You can even add it to that. Other ones look a bit different. It could have been an SBA also combined in one application that you just had to fill out by getting through the digital format and then filling out those fields. So it varies again on the application at times on what I will request, the business debt schedule, the look of that. It's yours. And then I also need you to complete another one or just one. Yours we can use, but no, we need to use this one. That's fine. But this needs to be credible to look better here. So DBA name, nothing different than what we saw earlier. Just gives you more details. If you operate under a business name that differs from the legal business name, enter the name here. Simple, legal business name, and then DBA name. Loan amount that is requested. How much did you want? Oh, I needed 150,000, and so this is what I will state. Note that you cannot put the dollar sign. So if you think like something's wrong, oh, wait a minute here. There we go, 150,000 without the comma. It does that. Watch, this is another way. Okay, I'm gonna do it that time. Make sure you have the right zeros in front of it and all the numbers correctly, since you can't always see the comma or the comma can't be there. Business structure. Are you a sole proprietorship, a general partnership, a limited liability partnership, limited liability company, or corporation? You can put something here like an LLC if you're that. Number of employees, let's just say we have 5. Please select the industry. From this drop down, you'll be able to select, okay, which one am I in? Let's just say it's finance and insurance. And then over here, business sub-industry. Is there a subset to that? What can we look for here? And there's a big list of it. So you can scroll all the way to the bottom too. But for time on this one, and you could also look at, actually we won't do it that way because it'll take the drop down off. But you can go through all of these. You have a subset here. And just for time, I know this won't add up because I'd have to go through and find it. But let's just say that for just the example, I mean, it would look different to yours if you're in finance and industry and underground coal mining. And so here, check the box if your business is a franchise. Don't select it if you are not. Does your business operate out of your home? Check the box if your business is home-based. Go ahead and do that if you are. Great. Tax ID number. For this video, of course, I won't fill all the information for privacy and things like that on an application. But yes, if you are, no, don't select it. Tax ID number, it must be 9 digits, not 6. Not 7, 8, and then you come down to the application and you go, why isn't it working? Make sure you double check your work. That is very important. Date, business established, the month, the day, and then the year. State or states of incorporation. Notice how it says states you can add of incorporation. So if there are more than one where you are incorporated, do that. If you can, put a comma. Doesn't allow you to, it's okay. Space next to it or 1. Business street address 1. If you have a second one, add that right there. Business city, see, business state, business zip code. And you see it won't let you go through until you complete this required field in red. So when you go to submit, you can't go through. Look up here and see, oh, where do I have to go? Business phone number. Enter the business primary phone number starting with an area code. Enter numbers only. What is the combined fair market value of the business assets? Enter the dollar amount, the boat loan, let's say if it is that, or if it's a different type of loan, if it's like an SBA, this is what you're seeing for that. The SBA requires lenders to identify how the working capital will be utilized by the business. Use of proceeds, provide the dollar amount where applicable. Combined total must not exceed requested loan amount. Payroll, hiring, recruiting, expenses, marketing expenses, accounts payable, operational expenses. So make sure you can be as accurate in stating this right here for that amount in expenses on these 4 fields. And here, what it's used for on this type of a loan. Down here, does the business entity or an affiliated real estate holding company own the property where the business is located? We want to know if there's any kind of property that is attached to, not that collateral sometimes for these, like a boat loan, would be required. But for any SBA loan application, that is helpful. And each application, again, is different depending on the lender, depending on if I give you my own, I have to use the lender's, better, it's preferred. There will be different fields in what it is asking for that specific service. Does the business or any of the owner's principals have a controlling interest in any other businesses? If this business or any of the business affiliated involved any pending litigation, so you can select from the drop down on these. Does the business or any of its owners have any outstanding judgment or tax liens? Yes or no. Does the business or any of its owners have any outstanding tax liabilities? And that's a big issue right now. A lot of people have enormous, like not even simply small, but enormous tax liabilities. I'm not even going to touch that subject and give you reasons for it right now for the time of this video as well. Tell us about the business ownership. How many 20% or more owners principals are there in the business? Be accurate with this information, please. Right here, it tells you how many. If there is, go ahead and put that in that field. Provide a brief description of the management team, time under current management, and depth of industry experience. So this is your place here because management matters, especially with bank and SBA loans, more so SBA loans than anything. Because myself, the lenders, and the team want to know, how does your management team operate? What leadership do they have? Who is your leader? How do they drive goals? How do they get through problems? How do they overcome obstacles? You guys meet the time under current management and the depth of industry experience. That's where they want to add as much as possible. Primary business owner's first name, last name, professional title of primary business owner, applicant type, primary owner, principal ownership percentage. Is the owner/principal a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident? Make sure you add this correctly. Contact information for the owner/principal, the phone number, the email, primary owner home street address. Now we're getting into the home part, so you can add that. Primary owner home street address 2, primary owner home city, primary owner home state, and then zip, and then the primary owner's date of birth. SSN, again, very legitimate field to verify this is you and for everything and moving forward, credit and more. Does this owner principal have more than $75,000 in credit card debt? You can say yes or no. Has this owner/principal filed for a bankruptcy or foreclosure in the past 3 years? For any criminal offense other than minor vehicle, has this owner principal ever been convicted, pled guilty, pled no contendere, placed on pretty old revision? That's the word that I always don't get. Or placed on any form of parole or probation. You can select from there. Additional owners, business owner 2, first name, business owner 3, first name, 4, 5, and then upload the documents and you're ready to go. My name or my information will likely be there, and then you'd be able to agree to the terms and the conditions, and you'd be able to then submit, and then everything will be in the portal there. All the back end work now that I'm working on and with the owner looking at over stuff, or the lender, and doing a lot of stuff to help you out. Driver license, year 1 business tax return, year 2 business tax return, most recent personal federal tax return, and anything else after that that can be asked for. There you go. Then that will be filled out. But this is another form of an application and what you could come to expect from going through like an SBA or even a bank term loan situation where a lot of people are looking for long-term money. And so an SBA loan is very helpful. Doesn't mean that everybody will get it though. And it's just another touch point on your way there. So anything like that you'll see in most applications again. And just to reiterate that point is you'll see things like legal business name, the DBA, the state of incorporation for a lot of working capital funding applications, the tax ID. You'll have a physical address. Don't add any PO boxes when it comes to like SBA and bank term loans, bank lines of credit, especially legal entity. What's the inception date? what's your last 12 months of revenue from bank deposits? When it comes to an SBA or a bank loan, a lot of them look further than just 3 to 4 months. They want to know what's happening over the last 12 months and how much of working capital are you requesting and how can that help you grow. Sometimes that field is asked for, and I'll gather more from that and see how much maybe more revenue or sales you can generate and making sure the benefit exceeds the repayment. I'll go do the cash flow, profitability, EBITDA analysis. And has the business ever been had a judgment? Is there a current judgment in place? Are there liens, a bankruptcy? And again, you're kind of just going to go through the owner information and make sure that as many owners that need to be on there are listed. And is this a rent? Is this an own situation? What's their percentage? And then make sure you sign and complete. So every field is different depending on what you will go through and submit. But that's what I wanted to go over in this video. I was going to cover the credit card stuff. I tried emailing it to myself. I think there's a delay because the attachment is large because I sent it from my Instagram over to my main email that I help you guys with funding. And I have it right here open on my screen. I might be able to play it. If that comes through, I probably have to add the, let me go ahead and, wait, how would I do this most effectively? Okay. Yeah, we were here. I was thinking we were on Zoom too. So let me go ahead and open this 1 second. Getting $100,000. So let me see if you can hear this. Here's the secret to getting $100,000 business credit card limit with ease. Number one, having 75,000 plus individual and business income reporting, preferably 100,000 plus to have a higher maximum range equal to 100,000, if not more. But really the sweet spot, it's 150 to 200,000, and also having liquid cash and in assets value. The other thing is having an annual gross household income of at least 100,000 plus helps. Number two, having 750 FICO Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion credit score. At times, just one. In other cases, two. And other ones, all three, depending on the bank and where they will pull from. But really, having an excellent credit score is best, especially when you're limited. You don't have too many accounts and aged history. Number three, keep your utilization under 10%. Under 15% can work, but anything more than that can make it a little bit more difficult, and that can drop your range from your minimum and maximum. If you're interested in more credit card tips and would like to see the next video on how to get multiple business credit cards at 100,000 plus and see what cards to go after, and you'd like to get this from an expert, then follow for more tips and comment back help. So that's one video. I'm not sure if you were able to hear that, or I could have shown you, but I wanted you to hear it. And I apologize if I play this back later and you guys can't hear the video and I'm just standing here. So I apologize, but I wanted to show you this. I might make a separate video for it. But I released these on Instagram. $100,000 in multiple business credit cards with ease, plus 0% interest cards included. Number one, have 75,000 plus in personal, individual, plus business income reporting, preferably 100,000 plus. The sweet spot, 75 to about 150,000 plus, really helps. Anything underneath that can potentially work, but it makes things harder. Also, have an annual gross household income of at least 100,000 plus in total helps. Number two, keep your credit utilization under 30% on all accounts that are revolving. Make sure that's very low. If you're underneath 20%, even better, especially with the top tier banks. Under 15%, great. Under 10%, excellent. Number three, be incorporated. Have an entity like an S Corp, a C Corp really helps. And you can also have an LLC, an individual sole proprietorship helps. But to get maximum amount, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, those are really helpful to have. Another one, you want to make sure you have at least 2+ years time in business. That is the best to have, but it's better in this market to have 4+ years. Not to say it couldn't work under 2 years, but normally over 2+ years. The other one is have a great banking relationship. If you're interested in this and you'd like to learn more and see what the cards to go after, follow for more and comment back help. That's number two. The first one I showed you was on how to get one business credit card at 100,000 and more. This one was on multiple. So getting fixated on just one card can be hard and troublesome, especially if you don't have as much experience and enough account history built. So I went over what you can do though to get one business credit at 100,000 and above. And now I just went over how to get it with multiple business credit cards, which is usually what most of us focus on, or at least I did a lot of it in the beginning. And then this next one is the three places I recommend most to go and get these high limit cards. Here are the top three high limit business credit cards to get $100,000 and above with. Check this out. Number one is the Chase Inc. Business Premier Credit Card with new card member offer, and then earn $1,000 bonus cashback after you spend $10,000 on purchases in the first 3 months after your account opening. The great thing about this card is it has large purchase offers. So if you do spend $5,000 or more, 2.5% cash back is given. And then there's also 2% on any other categories. Here's number two. The next one is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Credit Card with earning 100,000 bonus points for your first $8,000 spent in the first 3 months after account opening. The best part is the rewards. You get 3 points per dollar with your first $150,000 spent in combined purchases in categories such as shipping. You have advertising for social media, cable, phone, and more. Here's number three. Last but definitely not least is a Chase Inc. Business Unlimited Credit Card with 0% interest for the first 12 months. Earn $900 bonus cash back for your first $6,000 spent in your first 3 months after account opening. Unlimited 1.5% cash back. If you're interested in getting multiple business credit cards, comment back to help and follow for more tips. I was running out of video time at the end. Just so you can also see the first video I sent and how it looked like. I won't spend too much time on it, but this business credit card limit with ease. Number one, having 75,000 plus individual and business income reporting, preferably 100,000 plus to have a higher maximum range equal to 100,000, if not more. But really the sweet spot, it's 150 to 200,000, and also having liquid cash and in assets value. The other thing is having an annual gross household income of at least 100,000 plus helps. Number two, having 750 FICO experience. Okay, so that was the first video I showed. That's why I paused it. I just wanted to show you how it looked like. If I play this back and that doesn't sound well, or you can't hear anything coming through, again, I do sincerely apologize. But hopefully you got enough information from that. And just before that, going into the application and showing you what it will look like to submit. Do you get a hard copy PDF? You could do that to then submit it, but usually it is all digital now. We're in a digital age, so it's all fintech. A lot of people are going to ask you to submit it online through a portal. Maybe you log in first, or you don't have to log in. You create an account after submitting an application. Everything will be asked that way. And one application can look for really all types of services, or it will be having to be a separate one or multiple. So it just depends on the provider. It just depends on the service you're going after. But that's what I wanted to show you in this video. And I'd like to say before I end it, have a happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's. I hope you guys will be spending it with the most people you adore and you love, your family and friends, or whoever that may be. And whatever it is you're doing, make the most out of your day. Give more. Go out there, donate, or whatever it is you do to give back. And just treasure these times during the holidays and continue to be grateful and thankful and keep working on your business and businesses. I know at times when we're on holidays, we kind of sidetrack, or we try to do as much, or we do too much, and we lose track of what's also important in our personal lives. So keep an eye on the target, focus on things correctly, do the activities day in and day out, especially to help you get funding. From a personal matter, it's one thing, but on the business side, make sure you have the credit profile, the cash flow profile, the collateral profile if need be. And there's different stages to each. So you might not have one right now, you might not have two or three, but you will work your way into that over time. So that is everything from me. If you got value from this video, I'd greatly appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with others who you feel will find value. You don't have to share it if you don't want, it's okay. And if you have not subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing, and please click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content on all business funding tips and information, loans, advances, and getting this from an expert, from somebody who knows his stuff, but who truly cares about you as a human first and prioritizes that first, and then helping you get funding and getting the most out of this experience. So that is all from me. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Take care.